Alright guys, for today's video, we're going to be talking about all the Joestars, part 1 through 8, all the villains, part 1 through 8. We're going to be seeing which Joestars beat which villains, and which Joestars don't beat which villains.
Starting off this list, this grid pattern that we have Jonathan Joestar and Dio Brando of part 1, Phantom Blood. Now we're going to give the dub to Jonathan. Okay, Jonathan beats Dio Brando easily. Well, not easily, but you know what we mean. It's a clear, obvious victory for our boy.
Right, we already saw him beat Dio once, so yeah, pretty easy.
So up next for Dio Brando, we're going to have him fighting Jonathan's grandson, Joseph Joestar. Now, Joseph Joestar is like way stronger than Dio Brando, first off, and he beat Pillarmen in a fight. Okay, three Pillarmen, he beat them in a fight. So, of course, we're going to give the dub to Joseph.
And if Jonathan beats Dio, Joseph beats multiple characters who are just way stronger than Dio. It would literally be a walk in the park for Joseph. Like, he probably do it with his eyes closed.
Oh, yeah, he definitely could. He would just strap him to a bomb. That's it. Now we have Jotaro. Jotaro can beat Dio with the world. This is Dio without the world. Using reason, we can conclude that Jonathan would easily beat this vampiric stage of Dio.
I mean, like Joseph versus Dio, that would already be, an easy dub. And then now we're adding stands to the equation. I mean, I don't know how much easier it could get. I guess if Jotaro had Hamon, it would make it easier, but still, it's pretty easy dub for him.
Yeah, and we've also seen what, Jotaro did to Nux. He just punched him in the face, a vampire. Now, granted, he's a weak vampire, but he just slapped him. So we'll see how he does against, he'll destroy the Dio. Now we have Josuke part 4. Josuke could actually beat this vampire. This vampire doesn't have the world. Because Dio doesn't have the world, he's not going to see the stand. Crazy Diamond can go, almost toe to toe with Star Platinum the world. So he's going to do well against him.
I mean, it's basically, you're going to see a recurring trend for the rest of the Joestars. I mean, it's just another easy dub. Pretty much the same explanation we have for Jotaro work for Josuke. It's just Dio stands no chance against someone with the stand, especially as strong as Josuke stands.
Giorno Giovanna. Okay, he has one of the strongest stands in the series. Okay, this is a coughing baby versus a nuclear bomb. Giorno easily beats his dad, one of his dads, in this fight.
I'm not even gonna go into further explanation. It's just a very easy Giorno W.
Dio's gonna cry for this next fight. Jolene is just gonna wreck his shit in. Her stand is pretty nice. She has the nice abilities that could easily wrap around this vampire, giving her the dub.
Yeah, again, she just has her stand is kind of a little bit inconsistent on how exactly strong it is, but she still has a pretty strong stand. She should just be able to easily destroy Dio, wrap him up, punch him, no diff.
Johnny. Well, I'm misspeaking today. Johnny would easily destroy Dio because of his infinite rotation technique, and also he's a stand user. He has long range abilities. He is going to easily get him.
He already faced multiple alternate versions of Dio, and those guys had stands. And he managed to. He didn't really beat them, but he kind of fought on somewhat equal terms with them, and he'd feel a sigh of relief to go against Dio with no stand. So
Clears.
Easy dub.
Josuke Part 8 versus Dio Brando. Pretty obvious again. Gappy is just going to destroy and wreck his shit in.
He just hits him with his mega ultimate destruction bubble, and Dio just dies.
Now, this is where things start getting tricky. We have Part 1, Jonathan, versus Cars, the ultimate life form. Jonathan's just getting destroyed. He's just because he can use Haman doesn't mean he can beat a pillar man that can also use Haman. Okay, these are semi-demi gods. He's not winning.
Okay, I mean he did struggle with Dio in part one, and as I even like Santana, the first Pillarman we see probably could beat Dio, right? So and Cars Ultimate Cars is like way, way, way stronger than that. So Jonathan just stands no chance.
Now we're on to Joseph against the main villain of his part. We already know how it went. We saw that he used the Redstone of Aja to basically save the day. We're just going to give this check mark, this win to Joseph. Just watch part two. You'll see what we're talking about.
Right. I mean, he literally does. I mean, he doesn't beat cars in the traditional sense, but he beats cars basically. So, yeah, we're going to give the dub Joseph.
See, now we're on to Jotaro with stands. Ultimate life form versus stands. Jotaro can stop time with Star Platinum in the world, but can he really beat cars?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough because Cars, not only he's very durable, but his regeneration is kind of like very crazy. So I mean, it's not like Dio in part three where he gets punched and like destroys his head and he needs Joseph's blood to heal him or whatever. I mean, Jotaro could punch him a bunch, but he probably just regenerates and he probably couldn't like actually defeat Cars.
So he cannot beat him. That's what we think. That is our opinion, which our opinions are actually facts. Next up, part four, Josuke versus the ultimate life form, the son of Joseph Joestar. He's losing. Okay, sorry, Josuke, you're losing this fight. You basically your abilities won't really help you. Now maybe you could turn him into a rock, but like that's not gonna work unless he's in outer space.
Yeah, right. Maybe if like a comet or something fell from space onto Earth and then Josuke lodged that rock into Cars and then used its ability and Cars flew to space maybe, but I mean his Josuke's stand is physically weaker than Jotaro, so it's kind of once again like could he really hurt and kill Cars? Probably not.
Giorno versus the ultimate life form. Now, Giorno can create life in a way, and Cars can basically take life, and he is the ultimate life form. Now, Giorno has an ability that transcends reality, basically. He will prevent Cars from reaching the truth. Therefore, Giorno is just gonna beat him with his gold experience requiem abilities that are just insanely powerful.
Right, I mean, God, it's Gold Experience Requiem. Like, I'm sure there's some way that Jorna could win this fight. May not exactly know how, but he probably just wins. So, yeah, we haven't taken the dub versus Ultimate Cars.
With Jolene. Jolene, Jotaro's daughter, Joseph's great granddaughter, she's getting slimed by Cars. He's just gonna whip out his blades, run straight at her, and cut through her string, even though he can't really touch or see stands. And he's just gonna slime her. Sorry, Jolene. You're
I
not built for
mean,
this.
Jolene has a weaker stand than Jotaro and Josuke. I mean, she's just not hurting Cars, right? And Cars just needs like one good hit. I mean, eventually, I mean, she just get like kind of tired, right? She just can't damage Cars, kind of like Jotaro and Josuke. So she does not take the W in this fight.
Now, we're going to move on to the alternate universe with Johnny Joestar. Johnny, with the infinite rotation, is just going to spin Cars' balls. And with the testicular pain, he's going out. He's going night-night. We're giving the dub to Johnny.
Right, Johnny's ability we see has the power to transcend dimensions. No matter which dimension Funny Valentine hopped into, every atom in his body would just start spinning and he would just unravel. So Johnny could actually beat Cars. Cars would just get hit by the infinite spin and just be spinned to death.
And same with Gappy, part 8 Josuke. He's gonna hit him with his a technique, soft and wet go beyond. It's gonna obliterate Cars. So we're gonna also give the dub to part 8 Josuke Gappy.
One of the ultimate attacks in the series, a bubble that does not exist, pure destruction. Yeah, Josuke, aka Gappy, just wins.
Moving down a row, part three. How are the Joestars going to do against part three, Dio? Jonathan is basically going to fight his body. Think about it. Everything from the neck down of Dio belongs to Jonathan. So now we have Jonathan fighting not only himself, his body, he's going to be fighting against Dio, an evil soul on top of his head, cunning from the streets. Then we also have his stand ability and vampiric abilities. He's losing this fight. Just think about it, guys. Clearly, he's losing it.
Yeah, guys, Jonathan just doesn't stand a chance against stands in general, but Dio could just stop time and just, donut him like he did with Kakyoin, and there's nothing Jonathan could do about it. He just loses pretty badly.
And it's the same thing with Joseph. Joseph doesn't have a stand at this point. Even when he did have a stand, he didn't do well against Dio. Dio would just throw knives at him. Granted, it'll be a little bit more challenging than Jonathan, but he's a goner. He's getting donuted. Same story with his grandfather.
And with no further explanation, we're going to go right over to part three, Jotaro versus Dio. We can safely say Jotaro would take the dub because we literally saw him beat Dio. Even we saw him beat Dio pre-Joseph's Blood, and we saw him beat Dio post-Joseph's Blood. So yeah, pretty easy dub here for Jotaro.
Exactly. I mean, just go watch part three. Those episodes are amazing. Here's what Jotaro's gonna do. He's just gonna punch him really hard in the leg, and he's gonna win. Nah, I'd win, and he'll win. Now we're gonna move on to Jotaro's uncle, Josuke, and it doesn't take extreme logic to get to the bottom of this. I mean, Josuke is kind of cooked. He's in trouble. He's in danger.
Yeah, I mean, like Josuke's stand is comparable to Star Platinum, except he's missing one crucial element, and that's the ability to stop time. He has no counter against that, and I mean, his stand would just also be a bit weaker, a bit slower than the world, so he does not get the W in this fight.
Sorry. However, now we have Giorno going up against his biological fathers. Giorno is gonna win this fight. He could easily beat someone who was able to erase time in his own part. And going up against his own father, his stand could probably talk and stop time or whatever. Or he would just move and stop time or whatever. That's happened before. Why can't GER do that? But GER is just a monster. It would just crush Dio.
I mean, Giorno with GER beat Diavolo like very easily, wasn't even trying. There's been an argument, who's would win in a fight, Dio or Diavolo, which stand is stronger. I mean, so they're about like relative equal stand wise, kind of similar abilities, so don't see any reason why Giorno with GER couldn't also beat Dio.
Yeah, and with that, take us to Jolene. What do you think?
Man, I mean, I hate to say it a little bit, but I don't really think Jolene stands much of a chance. I mean, her stand is strong, but not super strong, and she also doesn't have any counter to Dio stopping time, kind of like Josuke. So I don't really see her being able to take the W in this fight.
Yeah, I mean, what is she really gonna do? She can't do anything. She can't even beat the main villain in her own part. But Johnny, he can. So we've seen Johnny go up against someone similar to Dio. He went up against Diego. He put up a good fight. He didn't win that fight, but we think there's something a little different when Johnny is going up against Dio.
All right, so for one, this alternate world Diego that did manage to beat Johnny, he kind of had some information ahead of time from Funny Valentine about the situation and the ability, and he's also just, Diego in general is just a little more cunning, smart than Dio. He's not, a egomaniac, so he's able to formulate a pretty good plan to defeat Johnny, but the Dio in the main universe, he'd have like no knowledge of Johnny's ability. He's not as cunning as Diego. He'd probably just see Tusk Act 4 moving in stop time, and he would just
And freak out.
freak out completely and probably lose.
Then that leads us to part 8, Josuke, Gappy. Again, his soft and wet go beyond ability, really powerful, low key. It's kind of related to the spin. He's just gonna hit him with that technique, beat him. It's crazy. This soft and wet beyond ability is insane, and you're gonna notice this throughout the video. But we're gonna keep glazing Gappy. So Dio's 2 testicles don't stand. They don't even hold a candle to Gappy's 4 testicles. And that's pretty much how the fight would go.
Right? And I mean, it's pretty safe to assume since the bubble doesn't exist, it would just, even if Dio stopped time, it would probably just keep moving in stop time and hit Dio. So yeah, his ability is just very crazy.
Which then leads us down to the part 4, the 4th part of JoJo. Diamond is unbreakable. And Kira is going to just beat Jonathan. Sorry, Jonathan. You're a gentleman, but you're losing this one.
Right, and then same for Joseph. I mean, it's not really much he can do against the stand.
Can't see Stan.
Though you know, Kira, he couldn't pull his Killer Queen has already touched this on Joseph because Joseph would just be able to predict that and say next you're gonna say Killer Queen has already touched the doorknob, but that's probably not gonna help him overall in the fight.
Honestly, it would be low-key a high diff fight, but Kira would just win in the end. He's just too favored by luck and fate. But part 3, Jotaro is going to beat Kira easily. It's crazy. He would just blitz him. His stand's just way stronger. We saw how in part 4 he was just bullying Kira. Just imagine how he'll handle him in the 4th part, in the 3rd part, basically.
Right, and I mean, Jodo in part 4 was low-key weaker than he was in part 3, so it'd probably be even easier for him to win. But speaking of part 4 and fighting Kira, we have Josuke up next. While we didn't get a definitive conclusion to fight between the two of them, I mean, Josuke's stand is just way
Physically
stronger and way
stronger.
faster.
Yeah.
He was beaten up here pretty bad, so we're going to go ahead and give the W to Josuke.
And then we're also going to give the W to Giorno. Giorno, he has ability that transcends basically reality. Even with bites to dust, he would prevent it from even happening. Giorno is just super. He's a super Joestar, which then that leads us to Jolene. And what do you think about Jolene? How would she handle this situation?
Jolene, this is honestly kind of a tough one because, like, we don't know. I mean, like, the strength and speed of Stone Free is a little bit in question. So for this is a little bit tough. You know, her stats and the feats we see, it's not fully clear just how strong and fast her stand is, but she does have a B in speed like Killer Queen, but she also has A in strength, and you know, she also has, you know, her string abilities give her some extra utility. So we're just gonna play it safe and give her the dub.
Yeah, and Johnny, we're gonna give him the dub as well. Again with the infinite rotation. I even think he could beat him with like lower acts of like Tusk as well. Gappy, you know, basically Gappy's fighting his own alternate universe self in this scenario, kind of. Gappy gets the edge on him with his soft and let go beyond as well, which then brings us down.
So guys, let's just, and it's gonna be a theme for basically every other villain on here. I think we can get by very quick. Jonathan and Joseph just don't beat Diavolo because they don't have stands and they can't see stands. They just get one shot at pretty much.
Nor can they even, both of them, they can't manipulate time. There's nothing really they can do. Diavolo is just faster, stronger, more brutal. He would just rip off their heads, literally.
Right. Diavolo beat Polnareff easily. Polnareff's actually one of the low-key stronger stand users in the series, so no diff.
Yeah, like Dio glazed Polnareff for a while, and then and then Diavolo just shows up when Polnareff got too noisy in his organization and just like made him crippled. He's not winning this one, but Jotaro beats Diavolo. It would be a tough matchup though.
Right, you know, guys, we're kind of in the camp. We would take Time Stop as a stronger ability than Time Skip because you could still stop the time. I mean, it's a little bit ambiguous, but we're just going to give the slight edge to Jotaro, maybe his ability is stronger, and he's slightly stronger and faster with his stance, so Jotaro gets W in this one.
But hey, let's not be wrong about this. Empataph with King Crimson is just a deadly combination. He would like Jotaro would be like bleeding. Like he'll come out of this fight all bloody, but we'll give him the edge.
Yeah, well, especially
Josuke,
because we see, when he's well, I guess we don't know exactly how long his time stop would even last, but, in part four, it can only last, maybe like, what, half a second, something like that. So it's not like it would be a huge advantage anyway.
now he has enough time to have a conversation and stop time, so we'll give him the edge. But Josuke is getting obliterated too. Same situation. It'll be like Polnareff all over again.
Yeah, you just skip time and then, just punch a hole in his stomach from behind and it'd be over.
And then we have Giorno. Giorno's winning. Go watch part 5. Gold Experience Requiem would literally just talk to Diavolo while time's erased and say you'll never reach the truth. And Diavolo will just keep trying to kill Giorno. And then eventually he'll just get stopped and Giorno Stan will just start beating him up and basically like start glazing Giorno that like, oh, Giorno doesn't know the true strength that I possess. I'm Gold Experience Requiem and I'm kicking your ass.
Right, and Jolene gets just destroyed, kind of like Josuke. There's just no counter for Diavolo's time skip. There's nothing she could do, and her stand's weaker.
Now, this might be a little controversial, but we think Jonathan and Gappy would beat Diavolo because the infinite rotation is powerful and the imaginary ability would just transcend like reality and reason and just boom, smack them right in the face. It would be a difficult fight though, and it'll be like tricky to get around the whole, oh, I can erase time and I can see into the future.
Right, but I mean, the infinite spin, I mean, Tusk could move and stop time, so he might be able to touch Diavolo in his time skip. And if Diavolo gets hit by the spin, it might still affect him while he's skipping time and not just phase through. And same like something would go beyond the bubble, it doesn't exist, so it might not get affected by time skip and still hit Diavolo. So, I mean, they're just very broken abilities for our Joestars.
Yeah. Now, Pucci, moving on to part 6, he's just gonna speed blitz Jonathan and Joseph. Part 3, Jotaro could probably beat him. There was a chance in part 6 where Jotaro could have killed Pucci, but he didn't because he wanted to save Jolene. Now, part 3, Jotaro doesn't have Jolene. Jolene's currently in his balls currently, so we don't have to worry about protecting her because he's just protecting himself. But we're gonna give the dub to Jotaro.
Yeah, part 3 Jotaro, I mean, that's prime Jotaro. He doesn't have the weaknesses of fatherhood weighing him down. I mean, he could have beaten Pucci if he wanted to. So, part 3 Jotaro, we're going to give the edge to and give him the W.
Man, Josuke's getting slimed. He's getting his face like cut in half. No, literally, Pucci. Listen, here's how strong Pucci is. He basically beat the entire main cast of like part 6 on his own. That's how strong he is.
Yeah, I mean,
So
Josuke would probably lose to Jotaro, and I mean, Pucci, I mean, we have Jotaro over Pucci, but Pucci was battling the entire Part 6 crew. There's just nothing, Josuke doesn't have time stop or anything like that that could affect Pucci's speed, so he just gets speed blitzed pretty easily.
Giorno's actually gonna win this one. Giorno might have been in Florida. We don't know. Maybe. But Gold Experience Requiem is, I would argue, it could be even faster. Or what it would do is just stop what he's doing and turn it back to 0.
Right,
So that matchup.
GER would just reset Pucci back before he even achieved heaven, so.
Yeah, you would, even like with the green babies like effects, I think Giorno could just negate all of that. But when we get to like Jolene, listen, Pucci beat her, so
Yeah, she
there's
stood no
no need.
chance.
There's no need for us to really go into detail. Just watch part 6 and you'll see it. But with the next two, these next next two Joestars. We have Johnny and Gappy. These two, again, the infinite rotation and the soft and wet go beyond, stand a chance against Pucci. It's crazy. Hard to believe.
Okay, you just gotta keep in mind for our anime onlys, like besides Gold Experience Requiem, Johnny and Gappy probably have the strongest stand abilities for our heroes in the series. So
Yeah, so we're just gonna give the edge to like Jonathan and like Gappy. Something will happen. Pucci could just run into that bubble, and literally, if they get touched, they're goners. They're in pain.
moving on, once again, Jonathan and Joseph versus Funny Valentine. Not even close. No stand.
Like, let's put this into perspective. A gun could kill Jonathan and like Joseph. It would threaten their life. Granted, a gun could kill everyone else on this list, but everyone else on this list can like stop bullets. And now you have the president of the United States with interdimensional abilities. He's easily just gonna slaughter them. No issue.
Right, now moving on to Jotaro from part 3. So keep in mind, this would be against Funny Valentine D4C Love Train. So he's in the barrier. So like even if Jotaro could stop time, I probably just couldn't get past the barrier, even in stop time. Like the Holy Corpse, Jesus Christ, he just transcends even time stop. So Jotaro probably couldn't hit him.
Yeah, same with Josuke. What is Josuke really gonna do? I feel bad for Josuke, honestly. Josuke and Jolene, they don't have abilities that like transcend reality. Giorno, actually, he would beat Funny Valentine's. He has an ability that would negate it.
Yeah, he
So
could
we're gonna
probably
give the
just
dub.
reset before Funny Valentine even had the core parts and Love Train and just, managed to hit him.
Oh yeah, Jolene. Really, what is she gonna do? She can't get. She's not even gonna touch him. She can't touch him. What is she going to do? String him? No. Pucci could literally like harm her, but sorry, not Pucci. Funny Valentine's can harm her, but she can't harm him.
Then Johnny and Gappy, Josuke from Part 8. I mean, I guess we probably should have said this at the beginning, but spoiler warning for anime onlys. Johnny literally beats Funny Valentine with Tuskak 4. It just opens up Love Train's barrier and hits him with infinite rotation. So that's a pretty easy dub for Johnny. And then Gappy Soften would go beyond Bubble. It doesn't exist, so it should probably just be able to bypass D4C's barrier and hit Funny Valentine.
And it also kind of has elements of the spin because yeah, it was explained that Gappy's like bubble is just like this little string spinning around really fast. So the spin could kind of bypass that barrier, but who knows. But now moving on to the final level, part 8, we have Toru. High key, he's the strongest main villain we've seen so far. Jonathan and Joseph, there's nothing they could do to this rock human. This rock human, literally, if they pursue him, they're gone. Maybe they could trick him, but there's nothing they can do.
Okay, now Jotaro, I mean, it's kind of tricky because we don't know the full extent of Calamity, but I mean, you could say even in Stop Time, Calamity would somehow find a way to hit Jotaro, or it would just affect him. Maybe he just couldn't even activate Stop Time because Calamity would hit him before he could do that.
Yeah, so we're just gonna say, look, Jotaro, you're cooked. Josuke, you're cooked. No need to explain it. Then we have Giorno. Actually, Giorno might be able to beat him, Calamity, with his like Requiem ability. Because again, we have a Requiem ability that's like within Giorno's kind of control, whose abilities that transcend reality. His abilities could probably beat Toru's Wonder of You Calamity abilities.
Yeah, I mean, not 100%, but we'll just, be safe and say we could see it happening
Oh yeah.
somehow.
Jolene cooked. Neg diff. She's destroyed. Sorry, Jolene. Sorry, Josuke. Now we have Johnny. Johnny's using this ability called the spin. Maybe Calamity won't really work. who knows? Or it could work and you'll get harmed, but who really knows?
Yeah, that's kind of another, 50-50, infinite rotation. Calamity, would it count as, him pursuing, attacking Toru? We don't know, but I mean, it's infinite spin, so maybe.
And finally, part 8, Josuke. Read part 8. See how it ends. He basically hits him with the infinite rotation, defeats Toru, saves the day, gets Yasuho. Happy ending.
Right. The
He
bubble
wins.
the bubble doesn't exist, so he's not pursuing Toru and he's not affected by calamity.
So looking at this list and looking at the trends, we see Giorno, we see Gappy and Johnny are basically the strongest Joestars, while basically the weakest is just Jonathan, and then Joseph and Josuke and Jolene, then Jotaro. It really comes down to how much you can manipulate reality, essentially, or your hacks.
I mean, you gotta feel bad. Josuke is right in between Jotaro Can Stop Time and Giorno with Gold Experience Requiem, like the strongest stand ever. And then you really gotta feel bad for Jolene because she has Gold Experience Requiem right before her, and then after her, she has Tusk Act 4 and Soft and Let Go Beyond. Like, that's not fair to either of
It's
them.
like it's not fair because I think she's the only one who didn't beat their main villain. Like think about it. Like Jonathan, he beat his main villain, but like then the ship caught on fire and he lost. But she's the only one who lost. There's nothing she could do against the main villain.
She literally died. She got killed by Pucci.
And she had like literally the side character and weather report had to save the day. And Giorno should be begging on his knees that he got the Requiem arrow because imagine if we did this video with Giorno without Requiem. He would be cooked too.
He be getting bodied by a lot of.
Yeah, he'd be destroyed. Like Josuke, part 8 Josuke and Johnny, their hacks come from like within themselves. Like their stance were like built in with the hacks. Giorno had to unlock that potential with the stand arrow.
Anyway, guys, that is the video. Thanks for watching. Comment down below, if we got anything wrong, what your opinions are. And don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe. Share the video if you liked it. We do want to see debates in the comment sections because we'll be reading them.
Yes, please argue in the comment section.
Please. All right, peace.